All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Question Time BBC, and the specific question in this segment is, should safeguarding for women's only spaces be reviewed? Now, from what I've seen so far, the only one keeping it real up here on this stage is this woman right here, and she's getting pushed back from a few people up there on this issue. Now, we're going to take a look at this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe while we're watching. Now, let's roll it.
Now, listen, the reason why this is such an important question is because, you know, as Kelly said, this is a discussion that is not just about the situation of prisons or rape crisis centres, which are very important places that are sex-based for a reason. And there's a kind of, it's remarkable to me that politicians in this country, in Scotland and Wales and in England, seem to have given up on the, belief in reality that sex is real and that it's irrefutable and that It's really important because this isn't just about those kind of very intense places like a prison or like a rape crisis centre where it is vital that you can beg the question, why can't men budge up and let someone into solitary confinement, not women? But the point is, hang on, the point is, if politicians and a government cannot deal in reality and in truth and deal with facts that are based on the things that we all understand, then why would you have any belief in anything they say? Why would you have any belief in the justice system? Because for the kind of group that we haven't mentioned so far is women, and it's women who are being made to pay for it.
Now, that's 100% real right there, what she just said. If you can't answer a basic question like what is a man or what is a woman, then I won't have confidence. Voters won't have confidence in your decision-making skills in other areas, because that you living in delusion on an issue like that, on a question like that, is going to reflect in all of the policies that you want to put in place. It's facts.
I will come out. There's lots of times I'll come to you, India. I know you want to come back in.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, it's not trans people who are going around attacking women, either in life or in prisons. It's predatory men. The biggest offenders within prisons are actually
well, do you think Adam Graham's a man, then?
Now, I'll answer your question. This person, I'm not going to call them that, because that's not the name that they go by now. We live in a civilised society, and just as
we're talking about a rapist, well, I mean, I don't know how they fit into a civilised society.
I know you're desperate to drag this into the gutter, but I'm not going to go there.
So are we not in a civilized society, 10 years ago, when, men were men and women were women? Any girls or women who had heavy interest in masculine activities, we call them a tomboy. If you were a man parading around as a woman with a wig on and skirts and tights and things like that, we called you a cross-dresser. But we had simple answers for this stuff. But now we've just totally went off the deep end, and we've decided to dive into this delusion as reality.
If there is a gay sex offender or a gay predator, we don't suddenly become homophobic. If there's a black rapist,
they don't
we don't
pretend
suddenly
they're something
become
they're not.
rapists. Well, what do you mean by they're pretending they're something they're not? They could be a genuine trans person who's born that way, who's had no choice. You're making it sound like a lifestyle, something that they've opted to do. You don't know. You're presuming.
Kelly, if I just really quickly, Kelly made the point that she's very liberal-minded, and I think most of us are like that. The vast majority of people, save a few bad apples, are generally of the mindset of live and let live, love who you want to love, dress how you want to dress, call yourself what you want to call yourself. Sorry. And that's you kind of have to bend over backwards apologising as a woman and do all that whole kind of spiel before you get to say what you want to say. But generally people are liberal-minded. What we won't accept is to be forced to say things that we know aren't true, that sex is irrefutable, and that men can turn into women by stating it. After 3 months of living
I tell you what,
as a woman.
I must go, India, of course I will let you back in. I just want to, the First Minister herself was saying today that she thinks Isla Bryson is probably faking it. That's her view.
Yes.
And do you share that?
And it's a possibility. I'm saying I don't know. Nobody in this audience actually knows what that is. The people who do know or will make that judgment are the people that are actually talking to her, are involved in this case. But this notion, and this is the gutter that I really want to avoid, you know, this chip away at trans people generally. We started this question talking about one bad apple.
I have not chipped away at transgender people.
And it's then been expanded into the fact that trans people aren't real, they're pretending. Well,
I never said that either.
That's not the case. Trans people have existed in all cultures, around the world, all times.
Come on, India.
It's a real thing. No,
you talked about misinformation, and now you're willfully misrepresenting what I said.
You're the one trying to drag it down. We are a tiny population.
I think anyone who's seen
not a threat.
Your Twitter account, India, will know a lot about gutter
puffing
discussion.
us up into this.
Well, I tell you what.
Now, I would entertain the statement that she just made that trans people or cross-dressers, whatever, have been spotted and seen in many societies dating back in the past. However, I don't think it's ever been as prevalent as it is today, where legislation is changing and you have to change the way you speak when it comes to these people, where we're literally starting not to acknowledge what basic biology is, what a man and what a woman, what a man and what a woman is. This movement is starting to hijack reality and bringing people into a place of delusion. And in Europe, it's even worse. You can get locked up for a certain tweet that you make. So regular people, I'll just call us regular people, are feeling the blowback and repercussions from what is resulting from this movement. And that's why there's a strong pushback to it.
How do you know by looking at a man if he's predatory or not?
But would you say that about a lesbian, for instance? That a predatory lesbian, and you would want to check their history? Because what you've just said there, effectively, is that trans women are men and should be treated as men.
Well, in my opinion, they still are men.
So I would go in a male jail, looking as I do, and just take my chances. And what, that would be my fault for looking like this?
Well, in my opinion, you can't change sex. That's my opinion. You can't change sex.
That's a very smart opinion to have. Look, you were given a sex at birth. What you were given at birth is what you are. You can change the hardware on the outside. You can even change some things on the inside, but you can't change what you were born as. You know, you will be fighting that fight. You will be fighting against that for the rest of your life. You will never be, unless you are one of those very, 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 very small percent, 0.1 people who are intersex, or, you know, have a rare condition. That's different. But people who make this transition, they're really just denying what they were born as at birth. Masculinity is on the decline big time in Western nations. And it's so bad that you literally have men transitioning into being a woman. It's like the writing is all over the wall for us to see. And we just ignoring it. We just keep following this path and following this path, and I don't think it's gonna end up in a good place. Society and the beautiful things that we have today, that we're fortunate to be able to use, and that we're fortunately blessed with, is the result of men being men and women being women. That's how we got here today. So if we try to change that, we don't know what that will look like in the future. And my guess is that it does not end up well. So I think we need to pay attention to the writing on the wall and get back to reality. Please, for the love of God. But let me know what you thought about this discussion in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe when you're at the door. Till next time, you guys, I'm out of here. Peace.